Hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for coming to this evening's Poem Jam. I'm John Smalley, a librarian with the San Francisco Public Library. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to acknowledge our community and to tell you about an upcoming poetry event. On behalf of the Public Library, we want to welcome you to the unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone, who are the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula. As the indigenous stewards of this place, and in accordance with their traditions, the Ramaytush have never ceded, lost, nor forgotten their responsibilities as caretakers of this place. As guests, we who reside in their traditional territory recognize that we benefit from living and working on their homeland. We wish to pay our respects by acknowledging the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Ramaytush community and by affirming their sovereign rights as First Peoples. A little bit later this month, on Sunday, August 25th, in this very room, Heather Buchanan will be hosting a reading and book signing with writers from the newly released Blackfire Volume 2, which is a powerful new anthology of poetry, fiction, essays, and drama that explores the history and legacy of the Black arts movement. If anyone here is here for the first time, I want to mention that our Poem Jam poetry reading series, facilitated by poet Kim Shuck, takes place on the second Thursday of each month. However, next month, September, we will not be meeting, but we will return with a reading on October 10th, celebrating the poet Mary Tallmountain, and we hope that you will be joining us then. You can learn more about upcoming programs by taking a flyer or newsletter from the table on your right. Also on the table are coffee and cookies and limited edition Poem Jam pins. If you want to know what's coming up, you can also consult our online events calendar at sfpl.org. So that ends my announcements. Without further ado, I want to turn the microphone over to San Francisco's Poet Laureate Emerita Kim Shuck, who is the host of the long-running Poem Jam series. Please give a warm welcome to Kim.
I could not be more delighted about tonight's reading. Among other things, there are a couple people who've been difficult for me to schedule for various reasons, mostly my own problem, not theirs, for a long time, and so I'm really excited. We could have subtitled this particular reading Badass Women, because that is really who we have here tonight. I think there are about 3 people missing, but this is most of the team that I would want with me come the zombie apocalypse. I think we would have really good odds of managing that event with this group. Our first reader is Ingrid Keir, who, among other great things, is a poet, publisher, mom, really good emergency person. Ingrid was in the first reading I did for the Fire Thieves series, which is what I did with my inaugural National Laureate Fellowship. And this may have been that long since you've come and read it one of my events. Is that 5 years? Thank you, Paul. Paul, our archivist. Anyway, please put your hands together for Ingrid Keir.
Hi, everybody. I'm welcoming you with a deeper octave, sexy, cold voice. So there you have it. I'm going to start with a poem that uses the word bonny, and my father is first generation from Scotland, and bonny means beautiful, and it's called The Bonniest Lass. At first, it's a simple whisper, almost inaudible to the ear, like the hum of a satellite floating between the stars, the call that wakens you nightly at 4:33 a.m., one that begs you to come back. Return to the bonniest land. Don't be feared. You can hear them, the female voices, their songs of loss, keening in the dark. Visions of octopus phalanges spread wide, Medusa's misinterpreted glow. A requiem for the trials, a caress of the ancestors, a psalm of remembrance. When you found her name, Isabel Keir, in the survey of Scottish witchcraft, trial date March 23rd, 1659, your bones rattled with recognition. This is who wakes you, resplendent whispers. Remember, remember, bonny lass, I am your lineage. Even then, it was a war against women. The war still exists nowadays. Methods updated to control your body, sovereignty, Isobel, charges of sorcery, anti-baptism, maleficum. 7 female accusers, 12 male. Let's remythologize your life from the recesses of my DNA. Thank you for giving me this life. I thin the veil. I call the dead forth. I clootie the golden cloth. Your lace wing flutter. Fay your family. Feather your fear. I can hear you, bonny lass. Your soft voice, a purr in the wind. That's for the ancestors. Kissing. In the haloed light, we are entangled jellyfish tentacles. Remind me of the word when one body begins to long for another. The movement of shadows and light, the sound of his breath, his skin moves, wisps of steam, sip the morning tea. I want to stay in this dream, a desire, a breath, a wish, my last lover of the year, my first of the new year. I send him a murky text message. When I reread, the mumble is a low growl in the back of my throat. I memorize the geography of his body. My hands recognize the pathways and fire roads, the untrodden places where lightning strikes more than once. I pick up glimmers, like pieces of collage, foil, patina, amongst structures, schedules. Driving across West Marin, I feel him in my mouth, that word on the tip of the tongue, his name an ancient mantra. I wander the muddy tracks of the labyrinth, the falcon mirrors and circles overhead, ebb and flow, intersect and disengage. It's simple math, really. Kissing him is an alternate universe I don't want to end. Aqueous. The octopus likes to taste skin when she says hello. She orients by suction, a tentacle wrapped around an arm, a slippery hug or handshake. I understand this. Every time I meet my lover, I want to touch him. Will he radiate lightness or shadow, sometimes held by the soft purr of a kitten, later an Irish stone wall, secrets left unsaid beneath the greenery. Ancient Gaelic chants rise as they circumambulate Brú na Bán, a metronome heartbeat, somatic footsteps. I fumble through a vision crest. My tender arms plead, one more taste. Life's paradox, you cannot force bloom. Consider the salty tides, the constant pull-push of the moon cycle, her aqueous body a plum upon the platter of stars. So yes, this year there was a full solar eclipse on my birthday, and I hid in a room with Jennifer Barone, and this is a poem called Eclipse Hidey Hole. Before it started, my best friend and I drew the curtains, prepared the altar, sprayed ourselves with sacred waters. Inside for the next 2 hours under an ominous solar eclipse, 108 prayers to Ganesha. Please remove the obstacles. Allow the cards to fall where they are meant to. bathing beauties in the hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold plunge. Wet bodies slick with thermal cocoons. What are we but universal cosmic dust? I dreamt this morning of seeing him once more, this time all the way through to the pinhole stars which carpet the sky, call out his name. We loved another in another space-time continuum. I still carry lightning bolts, malnourished ever since. I long for the connection, electric sparks light up the sky. Why don't you call me? Why don't you come to me late at night when I call you? Why don't you let down your guard? Ominous sun shadow, why don't you respond? I mythologize a history of our universe, woven in euphoria, a fireplace flicker. I follow the murmuration, the starlings, we create the dances in the sky. I confess, I commit, I crawl to Aphrodite, Venus, Juno. May you bless me, this eclipse, this birthday, this love crossing, the dialect of loves, of longing, this calligraphy of desire. Call Me by Your Name. This is a movie. Oh, fuzzy-skinned, plump, marvelous you. Not fig, not strawberry, not watermelon, but peach. I long for you in the cold winter months, but the produce police would have banned me. Yes, I desire out-of-season succulents. With you, naughty emojis were born. Summer scenes, a lone drip carves a cavern down the neck. The clouds puff and cotton, the breeze negligible, and I remember you, starring in that Timothée Chalamet movie. Tenderness, the scent of a pirouette, secrets of just-born eros. My friend said that scene was overdone, obsessive, but I loved the finger pressed inside the stone fruit, the rawness of frustration, the readiness to love. Starlink. Do you remember that night in September we ambled a path engulfed in the bay's darkness? A luminous snake crossed overhead. I thought about the wildness of meeting you, of this satellite strand, the crystalline reflection on water. I promised myself that night I would not touch you. A lie. My hands and yours, a magnet, gravitational pull. Your heat ricocheted toward me through the atmosphere. Oh, untamed comet. I cannot say what happened next. I think we became ether, wrapped in the sky's inky blanket, pulsated by constellation dazzle. You, the sonic boom breaking the sound barrier, that feral thing untethered. Let me peel off your layers, reveal what lies beneath. Secrets, sorrows, truth. The cosmic contrail you left in your wake, dust and daydreams. Let me wrap myself in all that's left unsaid as we orbit one another. What are we but longing? Poems written in the infinite sky. Thank you.
Wow. Our next reader is a poet and organizer, very likely at some point to be the Poet Laureate of San Francisco, and basically a ray of sunshine in human form. There's rarely an event that her presence doesn't make at least 10 times better. Please put your hands together for Jennifer Barone.
Oh my goodness, the same could be said about Kim. Amazing. Thank you, Kim, for having me here. I just returned from some traveling, mainly a few weeks in Naples, Italy, where both sides of my family are from, rich in mythology. So there's some themes here that are from that and through these poems. Grandmother Siren. Who said her song is meant to devour men? half woman, half beast, wild siren banshee, ready to explode at any moment, volcanic molten lava tempest, misunderstood Medusa, unable to be controlled. Here, mystic statues cry and bleed, waves crash upon unruly shores, dark as the earth. Rocky, toothsome, dangerous, her snake medicine, anti-venom, trance-inducer, sails on a crescent moon in the bay, brings wisdom from the depths and fish into nets. Hidden siren in an amulet held inside an egg can still be heard in the walls of the Sibyl's cave. She's alive and wild in us. The sacred temple that we live in can never be tamed. Tree of dark cedar, oak, and pine, wild rose, thorny and vital, still hold her resonant frequency. The runes of her temple now hidden under the altar. But we come to unearth her anyway. With every generation we come to crown her effigy with rose garlands under waves. When Sirius rises, the sirens sing, and she calls to us in dreams. Reasons to travel. Because a lemon flower blossoms on a lonely hill and wants me to smell it. Because a deep ache is aching me to change my eyes. Because there does not need to be a reason. Because your body standing behind the window will look so good at sunset. Because the sea misses me. It misses my body. It wants my body back. Because my eyes long for a certain shade of blue. And loneliness follows me everywhere and won't leave me alone because my grandfather's ghost still paces under my grandmother's balcony at night. And volcanic soil is aching to grow us back to life again. Because the statues need our prayers and the candles need lighting. Miracles want to happen even if we don't believe in them. Because we need to fall in love again, especially if our hearts are broken. So the angels don't get bored watching over us, so our dreams get a break from dreaming about somewhere else and dream about all the mundane worries back home. Because we don't have a home. We don't know where our home is, except in each other. Because tears need somewhere to fall and seeds need somewhere to be planted, because making love would feel so good in a different bed, near a different window, looking at a different landscape. Because I want you in another language, because I'm coming and I don't know where I'm going, because we're both lost and need to forget ourselves, because the pizza dough is being proofed, and the only proof that we're alive is that we're hungry. Because you come a little closer when we're in unfamiliar territory, and the balcony that I stand on is waiting for you to serenade me. And if not you, then God in the form of songbirds themselves, because my soul needs at least one gelato every afternoon in a different flavor. Because I'm made of at least 60% water and the moon pulls me across the sea. Because I'm Sagittarius and the stars said so. Because I said it's time. Because I'm restless. I'm wild at heart. I'm born to run. Because I dreamed of this. And this is what I'll remember. Volgare. Colloquial, voice of the people, words spoken in dialetto. You have to be careful how you use that word, she says. You don't want to be vulgar, but maybe I do sometimes. Street music on the Spacca Napoli, a man plays a melodica, stepping on a rubber chicken and makeshift foot pedals. A man sings opera in the alcove of an ancient building, spray-painted with graffiti near Teatro San Carlo. You've never seen this before, never heard it that way, never tasted something quite like this. The heart of the people can be a little rough around the edges, and their sense of humor, too, on not-so-quiet corners, in aging corridors and side streets that they tell me not to walk through, but I wander anyway. The towns they tell me to stay away from, I want to see, to take the train they say is too dangerous to get there, to go where the real people live, stay where they live, eat the foods they love to eat, hear the music they sing, excavate my own heart of longing in places people want me to forget. Around the sacred sites, I see the ancient and overlooked weeds still carry medicine for me, and the sirens have a sense of humor because they made this city. They became the land. They protect the ports. They inspire songs of exultation. They, too, a little scaly and sharp around the tooth, perhaps apprehensive, unapproachable, but adored. Their power is a hidden mystery in buried temples on an island and an ancient peninsula in the ghostly shape of a fin. Priapus in the Night Garden. Mysterious and mischievous things happen in a garden among fig trees. In the ultraviolet light, at the edge of dawn or dusk, when magenta fades into a deepening blue, pinpricks of stars illuminate, reveal you, towering over me, unable to comprehend your magnitude. I realize now that I need to release all limits on ecstasy. I think that I deserve, or am capable of. Now I think we deserve it just for showing up, for being alive and willing. I didn't know I needed healing. I asked for healing, but this was not the medicine I was expecting. Could I take it all in, the God of plenty, of the protective vitality, the heavenly ladder so enormous? How can I climb it? It reaches into the void where I may never return. Love, explosive in its undulating peaks, hides a little death. A supernova in its frequency leaves a hole, devouring in its wake. Loving you may tear me apart, but I'm at the age where that sounds exciting. When it's time to unlearn all I've learned, why am I here? How is it possible that you are animated, leaping from murals into flesh, holding me until I fall asleep and dream again? Upon waking, I am filled with insatiable desires that may only be filled by the divine in a heavenly garden of delight. My cells are on fire, my skin, my body awake in an electric wave. The dancers of Villa Cicero. Stop what you're doing. Let yourself rest for the day. Sprawled out in the sun and the fresh air, your eyes need rejuvenation. Your heart is longing to be filled but doesn't know where to turn. Let the dancer fly off her fresco to spiral around you with roses in her hair and a basket of fragrant petals. Let her dance into your mind's eye, into your dreams. Let her lift your spirits if it needs lifting. Let her bless your workers' hands with ethereal warmth. Get carried away when your eyes close, leaving rooms and screens of light behind you as darkness enters to repair you. Let your body rest on the earth as your soul flies to meet her, circling in galaxy spirals like a wild angel lit by the sound of drums. Lose yourself in the still point where timelines spin. Your heart accelerates to signal you're alive and vital. Remember, pay attention as the dancers surround you in the vastness. Hear what your heart needs to feel light again. Many sacred springs are sort of guarded by the nymphs, and they're called nymphiums. This is a nymphium. What can I bring to thank you for the water, cleansing my mind with rosemary, clearing my heart as it pours over me? This water has traveled far and deep, from the core of the earth to the surface. What can I bring you in gratitude for this fire and water? I thank you with my body, with my tears. I add them to the salty outpouring of the spring. All spectrums of light showering me in rotating colors and geometries. The nymphs are present in the sun, their wings outstretched around my shoulders. The soft grass gives way to an ethereal tenderness. The air caresses me as I walk, in wafting lavender, laurel, sage, and lemon. How can I show you what is so subtle and unseen, or sing what is quietly being whispered when the breeze speaks? It's the feeling of being blessed by the land, recognized for the resonance of your presence, leaving with the pleasures of the body restored, and memories for so long after that leave me wondering, how can I thank you?
Other writers might understand this. I've been having a really hard time writing a thing. And I just knew that I could do it today because it was going to make me miserable. And then I was going to get to do this. So thank you all. Something that some people may not know in the room is that most of the people in this reading are also organizers of poetry in the Bay Area, and remarkable ones. And I learned a lot reading at everybody's events, and I can't even express how grateful I am. Our next reader, Kelechi Ubozoh, is a long-term organizer in Oakland, and there is a kind of light in her writing that is really not describable. So I'm just going to invite her up and show you. Please put your hands together for Kelechi Ubozoh.
Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you. Thanks for remembering. So today is my birthday proper, like actually. And there is nothing more I wanted to do is read poetry with you all. So I'm so happy to be here today with you. All right. This one is called Atticus Finch. Barefoot seniors trotting absent-mindedly along lush manicured lawns, Victorian-style buildings called whimsical names like Mother Goose, protest signs gathering cobwebs in unmarked closets, faded radical beliefs from teachers dressed in tie-dye, called by their first names, John or Catherine. Jimi Hendrix's Red House blasting through the parking lot. I first cradled your body and held your story in my early teen hands, looking for a father and the browning curled up pages of Things Fall Apart, and finding a father figure in To Kill a Mockingbird, finding you, Atticus Finch. Set in the South, my new hellscape, something about a man who fights with intellect instead of his fists feels safe. Things aren't what they appear. We met again when I was kicked out of the well-funded classroom, stealing the cash box from a dance, cheating on the math final, stealing $20 from L.A. Reid Jr. 4 years prior to his Sweet 16 birthday on MTV. Waiting for a scolding from one of two Black women in the building. Her short silver dreads bounced enthusiastically across the backdrop of her Nelson Mandela poster. She looks me up and down. Sister, maybe you should rethink your criminal activities. I know, what I did was wrong. Sure, that's true, but you aren't even good at it. Still the most honest conversation I've had with an adult. Time for public school, chipped concrete windowless buildings, but yet an immaculate football stadium. brightly painted cheerleaders, and the fiercest step team in the region. Hot 97.5 with Chris Leveleva and Poon Daddy pulsing down the bus ride boondocks, loud, urgent moans emerging from the band room, the bathroom, every room. Ultra sheen for the baby hair and baby powder, bathroom confrontations, ROT slick uniforms. We meet again, Atticus, hiding in the bathroom from another unwanted ass beating. I reread you for the senior advanced placement literature class I'm in. I'm a sophomore and a freak. Blue hair, black fishnets, and combat boots never caused so much chaos before. I never got attention before. And now it's all bad. You, one of my few friends, remind me to be accountable for my behavior. I write the best essay in class. It still feels like cheating. All right, this is apparent apparition. I miss the former matriarch, not this recent embodiment, feminist collapse, suburban ambition. I see your ghost wrapped around every hidden corner. She projects vitality on your face, just can't trace that line to present day you. See, she was homecoming, lay back on the couch kind of love, rummage through the leftovers with ease, chocolate milkshake highs, bear hug lows, tummy rubs. You are polite. Tiffany blue stationery with matching envelopes, conservative crisp linen hospital corners, alphabetized vinyl records, everything in its place. Spotlight on a thumb, looking for a ride out of this freshly painted HOA hell. Where is your ghost? I'd like to get in trouble with her. Tipsy on Bahama Mamas, an outrageous dare. I'll do it. Did you see me? Are you watching? Mommy, are you watching? You were a presentation, but a no-show. Mirth removed, canceled Christmas, lost daughter in a labyrinth. To be a guest in the heart that was my home is a pain unmatched. I always do a disclaimer for this poem because it's called Gemini, and every time I read it, so many Geminis apologize to me afterwards. I am not talking about you. I do not know you. I've never met you, so you don't have to. I love Geminis, except for this one. So I just want to disclaim that. Okay. Gemini. I fall in love with my friends, worship at their altars, offerings of mixtapes, movie ticket stubs, canary-colored concert tickets, tattered club wristlets, kept secrets whispered at dawn. I am the one she calls at 2 a.m. to talk about him. He is always the same boy child in different bodies, charming with wide-toothed fangs, ego bruiser, sexy, so unavailable. I still think of that lost Gemini, waking me up at 2, weekend overstuffed, suitcase packed, witch cackling howls of joy, faces of 2, mask always brighter. She is the gem in the eye of all that behold her, but I prefer the unpolished her, makeup-free, raw. I still think about that lost Gemini, splitting my heart in 2. She ghosted, I'm haunted, ripped me open and stole our magic. Did I love too much? Exhausted. Phone on redial. Just too much me. Is attention seeking toxic when it's nutrients for survival? Well, I'm fucking starving. Since she fled with no words, haven't loved quite the same, haven't worshipped as easily. I shapeshift like those fuckboys, know what to say or when to leave, be the friend you need, but never need. Thank you. All right, we're gonna go somewhere dark, and then I'll keep going there, and then we'll take you out of there. So I just wanna let you know where we're going. This is called relationship status. See, Death and me, we've got this thing. I flirted with her once, twice, thrice, okay, and she hooked right in. Visited her in the underworld, and she showed me some things. Psychedelic curved moons, a world without end. Her most enticing, grandma's warm embrace, whispers, come home, curls up in my lap and purrs like a hungry fat cat. We could leave this all behind. I'll admit I've been tempted, almost succumbed. She croons to me sweetly, your time here is done. Join me and Persephone, pomegranate in hand. But back on earth, see, I've got my man. Sweet brown eyes, a wide grin, only person who knocked and I've let in. He's cunning and kind, makes it easy to be, made a home in his bones, and he gave me the key. This year, he's been to funerals 3, and I'll be damned if the next one is me. So death, a seductress, an escape from the pain, must ungrip from her claws, 'cause I can hear my man. You think your exes suck? Let's go for a ride. Have you ever been to the shadow world, behind the veil, the other side? There was no grandma, with her rose gardens and balm for my pain. It just faded to black. It was just the end. Awake and shook on the bathroom floor, misquote the raven, damn it, no more. I decided to stay. Death said, oh, what a bore. Look, she means well, despite dragging me through literal hell. But last year I made vows under redwoods bent, till death do us start was not in fine print. So even though I feel so alone, I know it's time to put temptress death back in the friend zone. Thank you. All right, this is my last one. A geometric shape falls to her feet like broken stars, naming her, transforming her. Was she sleeping? Was she driving? Was she playing? Was she just black? Black and mad, madness loud. Just because you can't hear voices doesn't mean they're not real. We cradle another stolen soul at the edge and corner of pain, heartbreak, and hashtags. Sandra, Brianna, Nia, Sonia, Sonia, Sonia. We know the nightmare, so what is the dream? You are a dream realized. I meet you with splendor and joy, knowing that joy and grief are cousins. I hold both truths and gently rock you to a lullaby, a portal to co-create a dreamscape. In this place we create, let us remember the wisdom of our ancestors who did more than survive, whose DNA passes on ancestral gifts, knowledge, and care for each other, our plant ancestors who energetically shelter us from the constant storm that is an ableist white supremacist lie. May we remember the truth and that these words give you nourishments in times of despair. May you be nourished. May you be hydrated. May you be held in a way that feels good to your body. May you reclaim your ancestral teachings, traditions, and knowledge. May you remember your people and may they remember you. May you be a good neighbor and may your neighbors be good to you. May you experience responsiveness in replace of reactiveness. May the solutions to harm be of your creation but held by many. May you rest. May you know love and give love. May your decisions be honored. May your autonomy be respected. May your human rights be restored. May your belly be full of food and laughter. May your heart expand. May you feel cared for at all ages and stages of your journey. May you allow yourself to feel your emotions and may your emotions move through. May you liberate yourself from generational wounds. May you be the solve. May you rest. May you rest. May you rest. May you let yourself receive. May you know a deep pleasure. May you live in dignity. May you be safe. May your physical container experience release and magic. May you remember that your story is part of a universal fabric and the thread that belongs to you belongs to the collective. May you release whatever in the past is no longer serving you. And in the moments when this is not possible, may you be kind to yourself and the parts of yourself that do not yet know the way. May you get as lost as you need to on your path and return. May you continue to light the world, and even through inner and external darkness, may you remember that you are whole. May whatever resonates from these dreams etch into the mortal fabric, and may you release anything that's not aligned. May the dream we build together include all of us. So much love to this collective. Thank you.
It may be that the word I really wanted was effervescent. I'm not sure. I'll find the right one. I have literally organized poetry readings where I have thought, mildly maliciously, to put people after Kelechi, because it's not an easy place to be, because you always bring it. So, however, I'm not worried about this transition at all. Because, it's one that's happened a few times. And Cassandra, Dallett, there are a lot. In the San Francisco Bay Area, there are a lot of people who are wannabeats, who are baby beats, who are beat adjacent. And not really good at it. But Cassandra has some of that absolute fire and shift that was the best part of that movement, and could absolutely be counted among that number, but also has an elegance and curiosity that wasn't always as present in some of that old work. Have I embarrassed you enough? Yes. Okay, please put your hands together for Cassandra Dallett.
Thank you so much, Kim, for having me and for that great introduction. I love it, and happy birthday, Kelechi. I'm so sorry you were on the BART. I would have picked you up if I would have been thinking. I was too busy trying to get you to pick me up. Kelechi, I love you, and Kelechi and I curate a show together, so we just collaborate really well. And even when you're dark, you're light and cute and sweet, and I love you. And I'm glad you were born. Anyways, I feel that about all the readers. Dark oxygen. The neighbors don't know wisteria waves green tentacles from the plumbing vent. We are down to 110 days or so. We are talking about dress outs. Still afraid to believe in freedom, holding our breaths in the depths so long, gates closing at your back, slow rolling chain link, baking under an asphalt sun. Parolee, your new name, so close to our old beginning. Far from photosynthesis, we create air. The neighbors don't know the tentacles are a green ship now, a mass engulfing the season and the passing of time. I finished it. I started it for Beast Crawl. I was like running out the door trying to write it. Okay, muscle memory. Who you were is waiting for you, burning your drunk fingers at the door. Stan Smith's off Market Street, home-cut bangs and girl gangs, burning red Revlon eyeliner with matches in the school bathroom, feeling it thick and warm on your waterline. When it was easier to punch the girl he was hitting on or hanging with, run all through your girlfriend's exes, throwing beer bottles and tearing pictures off the walls, carrying that giant painting between the four of us down to Visadero, a high heel and a crushed cigarette still smoking. We heard music and ran up 2 flights. We are family. We shrieked, cried, and hugged each other, celebrated the war we lived in, getting over on men who were trying to get over on us, all of us losing and winning, waking up to 10 passed out bodies in my room with some cute guy who was buying weed from Auntie's boyfriend in the bed with us, Wendy kicking him in the head and me stumbling off to school for no reason and having so much love. The only thing that kept it in check was these roaring moments. I got all my sisters and me, when we claimed what it really was instead of sabotaging and chasing down his car like a lonely dog in North Beach, tits out. Every block in the city had a party like this that you could wander into, make yourself at home. We thugged our own booze, but would rifle the medicine cabinet and outdrink the skateboarders or motorcycle dudes or whichever scene we'd happened on. Where is she? I say to the mirror, this last overgrown haircut reminding me of those times when my bangs wouldn't lie down in the foggy streets, getting high, stealing red lipstick and gardenia scent sweet from Long's. Is that me at the bus stop, electric line snapping and sparking muni as I get pager numbers from boys and nice rides, as I double mint and Pepsi, halved with E&J when I malt liquor and folded slice, when we tried to cook all the vegetarian food stamp food and eat it cross-legged on the old linoleum of Haight Street? Is that me too scared to name it or ask for it or claim it, but fearless when getting in those strange cars, sneaking in bars, drinking all night in dark parks? Cute boys wanted mine like Matt Dillon, or Big Daddy Kane wanted mine like Flacco, Stiff Crease, and Tres Flores, like the ones who couldn't love me how I loved them for it, because I didn't love me either, but I knew how to fuck, taught all the little kids in school how to say it, what it meant, how I'd heard it and seen it all up in my house in Dad's magazines. I understood what life had to offer was a passenger seat, a man's commanding hand gripping thigh meat, driving fast, to be claimed, named baby by devilish outlaws, being one half of crazy. Most days wandering the hate felt like less than a quarter of a human, alone until your girls hopped off the bus, whooping your name in the air, spilling over with boosted paradise, stolen emporium, till we were singing in some guy's car to the violent waves at Ocean Beach, dancing wet feet. That is where I see her, you, me, singing Lisa Lisa in the Cult Jam. Can you feel the beat? Can you feel the beat? Leaf out on the hillside if no one spots me, climbing alongside the ferns, quiet, filled with nosy crows, my own stupid thoughts, grinning. There is no reflection of me here. No one wants a thing. Green growth, water, redwoods make me small. I feel it growing in my chest, unfurling like fiddlehead. This is joy. First thought as I wake, surprisingly not my bladder, but it's you, right there, but not. You don't exist in your body anymore, and yet you're everywhere, everywhere but ash. I can hardly hear the dialogue of whatever I'm watching. You just won't shut up, even though you were always the one who wanted to watch something. It was our way of being, sharing space. Last time you were here, you said you'd never come back because I was so mean. I was so mean. I gave you cancer. I refused to stay with you the whole time when you were sick. Though you told me you didn't want any other family to see you like that, I was put upon. I wiggled away. Even the night before your breath was no more, I'd been putting suitcases in the car. I came to say goodbye. I was running home to comfort, to pretend what was happening wasn't. To force the family to nurse you, it may be my job, but not for you. Not this waxy chest beneath my palm, not you. You too alive, too young, too important, someone I laugh with, text you the name of every good movie I watch, discuss them with you as I go. You keep waking me up. The bad guy in my dream last night, the one I was trying to kill, was shitty white boy with a mustache, house 70s, your boyfriend's, and I buried him, but he kept coming. I spend my nights hitting men with shovels and wake to your absence. Memorial flowers are wilting. I won't let them go. As you know, I'm a good thrower-outer, and I'm mean as a hornet. For my auntie, rest in peace. Freedom lives nowhere. History all conquer and carve, follow the trade routes. Behind closed doors, they only loved you for your oil. If you had none, you had nothing. Maybe tungsten, maybe ore, all of it stripped from under your feet. Silicone world wanting more. What is the cost of turning off the news hour? Will it be natural disaster or war or derailment in a town of the same name? You must flee your home. Chemicals live there now. Move into the rubble the people are dusted with, concrete and blood, cemented in present and past. Lifetimes of peacekeeping, well-meaning, only buying the green dish soap and attending all rallies for justice, but we're still here and genocidal. Dictators love oligarchs, love expansion. Countries are built on the ruins of cultures. The rich will continue this tradition throughout the galaxy. The women who gather the clay will be slaves in space. Elon and Bezos will say, look how fast you got your package. Look at your shiny new car. Whisper quiet. Isn't that worth our spaceships? Mineral grabs? Lithium. a soft silvery metal covered by sand deserts, cobalt from Congo. Like life, it is precious. The rain is out there. I don't hear it tin roof close like I want to. If your body heat paroled, I'd sleep with open windows. In this, the last rain before everything goes back, dusty and sun-bleached. Now is nasturtium time, sun yellow and blazing, leaves like fairy parasols. Even my plastic flowers are in bloom. The news says the same things it said 4 years ago. The oldest white men still jockeying for throne, golden toilet everyday man, farts in the courtroom, throwing paper towels at the storm, frack quakes in eastern states, a porch gutter loose and pouring, mom worries will wash away in the dark, new gutters attached to rotten wood, and I think I may never get up out of bed. I'm glad I turned off the cable, but even online they only show me the same 4 stores when I search for something. My shopping, like my voting, being curated by AI, shoved down my throat, wedged sideways so I can hardly breathe around the debt. Thank you.
Secret to doing good curations is having good friends. By now, Cheng has, Cheng, sorry, brain fart, has realized that I don't read bios. She's probably wondering what I'm about to say because we don't know each other real well. Jen is the Poet Laureate of West Hollywood. Please applaud that. Which is pretty badass for a lot of reasons. But also, I've been kind of doing a bit of cyber stalking on her poetry for the last couple of days. And I think people are going to be delighted. I also have a feeling that this one and I are going to get into some good trouble. Please welcome Cheng up to this.
Thank you, Kim, for having this event. I've wanted to come visit my hometown. In fact, I took dance lessons at San Francisco Dance Center around the corner before it was the Music Conservatory, and took my first Spanish class at City College here. So this one's showing my love for San Francisco. Although it's titled Chow Mein in Chiapas. My genetics didn't give me good rhythm, so I learned it from my Afro-Panamanian dance teacher. She'd encourage passionately, "Eso! Pa, 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 pa." As I listened to the Cuban beats, I fell in love with Spanish. So I flew to Chiapas to study like a good hippie. My community college Spanish gave me good practice on how to order un café, but my Chinese cooking skills earned me my host family's affection. They asked, "Please, cook us authentic chow mein." So I went all over town to find ingredients and learned words not in the textbook, like jengibre. When I served them chow mein, they politely ate with confusion and finally asked, "¿Por qué no cocinas con nopales?" Their local Mexican chow mein came with cactus. And so with my elementary Spanish, I said politely, "No pienso que hay nopales en China?" And we all had a good laugh. Dance and chow mein are my passports to bond beyond language. Ya taisik fana? Bailamos! I'm very honored to be the Poet Laureate of the City of West Hollywood, and we're very campy and queer and a lot of fun down there. So anytime you're coming to LA, please check me out. I'm at Gen C Voice. I'm likely to be hosting or be part of an event. I want to welcome you. So who here loves Bridgerton? Yay! Okay, so we're bringing in some pop culture. And I thought this was a nice way to honor my maternal grandma without writing a eulogy. And it's a fun abecedarian, so if you're listening with your ears, listen for the X word. And pardon my bad British accent. Bridgerton's narrator spills the tea about my grandma. Grandma dearly departed with a grand hurrah, hailing with respect instead of grief. In turn, her memorial party was her dream birthday celebration, as she just died gracefully in her sleep. Kind of a quiet exit, but so obvious as her last symphony. Manipulation was her modus operandi, so none of her surviving 7 children could say no to showing up. Over all the years of plots she orchestrated to stoke personality struggles as with believable lies as the drama queen and a mother mastermind of recurring rivalries between siblings. You needed the latest headlines to know who was mad at whom at this telenovela that could outdrink other families under the table. Air violins would play to whine about one sister's injustice or how xenophobia ruined a brother's attempt at a white-collar career. Yarn skeins were what she left behind with a zoetic puzzle of where she might have hidden her jewelry. Accumulated hiding places were ways to anchor her bravery through war, occupation, and poverty as she silently sang her survival song. Conducting her power, even from beyond, her heirs cleaned her home, dug through every jacket, looking for secret pockets, ever reminded how this frail elder knew how to perform her finale. So I am a child of critical race feminism at Berkeley, and I was reflecting on that when I was thinking of how to describe pride and queer transnational feminism. So this is 10,000 Butterflies. I wrote this last year for June Pride. 10,000 butterflies. How many butterflies had to flutter to change the weather patterns enough for my ancestors to survive, to escape the cultural cleansing that was meant to erase those who were different? Popo said, many did not make it, especially on your father's side. Tailors, those who had skills too smart. Some drowned. They had to swim across the waters to British colony Hong Kong, where they made a new life. But why? I asked. Team guy? To survive, to escape the bad guys. Grandma tried to explain to me when I was only 5. When I was a teen, the Japanese soldiers could have taken me. I had to take the soot, the burnt bottom bits of the wok, and rubbed it on my face to make me ugly, and claim my older brother as my husband, because the soldiers were likely to take away the single young pretty girls. Some young pretty girls were taken away during the war, so she had to pretend it was safer to be ugly. What if Papa, Grandma, had been taken away? I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be here today if Mom didn't marry Dad because Dad promised Amma on her deathbed that he would return to find a bride back in Hong Kong. Back in Hong Kong, in 1996, I traveled as a college student before the turnover to China to find my roots. So much missing history. But my relatives said I had to promise, never go to China alone. Never go to China alone without a tour group to protect you because you don't speak Mandarin and you stand like an American. Anything you say or not say will make you a rebel. For no reason, a lowly policeman can throw you in jail and you will be disappeared. Disappeared? Like the desaparecidos of the protest songs of Latin America I sang with my college choir? Wow. The power of bold gay men in the streets of Buenos Aires reclaiming the slang mariposa. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. I found the underground lesbian club in Buenos Aires, down an empty street, down a stairwell, to a basement of an arcade, where I asked a girl to dance with me. Dance with me? She and her friends laughed at this loca, this chinita, crazy chinita, tourist traveling alone, wandering in a club lesbiana where the police still raided the clubs. And I could be disappeared, so they drove me home. They drove me home to Palermo, where I was staying with the gay boys who weren't allowed in the lesbian clubs, but were friends with the proudly out local mariposas who worked at planetout.com. Planetout.com, one of those 1990s gay websites where we hungrily scoured for travel information to find the fun and find where we thought we could safely travel. But what about the places that were not safe? Not safe to be pretty boys or butch girls. I pass as a femme and could claim one of the boys as my grandma. I claim one of the boys as my husband for different reasons than grandma. It's a different kind of war to survive. To survive the political winds that swing violent, I now choose to live in a proud, gay little haven where I imagine I walk without the threat of being disappeared as I count the miracles of butterflies. Woo. So last year, that poem was about survival, and I wanted to write about thriving for this year's June Pride. So this is Prayer of Light, after Audre Lorde's Litany of Survival. Who here are fans of Audre Lorde? Yes! You're the right crowd. So there's a chorus, and I need your help. So I will say, as long as there is light, we will let it shine. And we all say together, we were always meant to thrive. Can we do that? As long as there is light, we will let it shine. We were always meant to thrive. Yes, thank you. My impromptu chorus, I love it. Prayer of light. Plants have only two choices, to grow or to decay. As long as they grow more leaves than what withers, they are still growing to the light. Reaching up to the sun without any deterrent, they thrive. We are here like plants, and with every breath, we are meant to grow and thrive. As long as there is light, we will let it shine. We were always meant to thrive. Birds have a song. They sing and huddle in windows, branches, and any doorway or echoing archway, between stars and dawn, seeking a breeze to take flight to their future. And as they fly, we breathe. I breathe, therefore I am. As long as there is light, we will let it shine. We were always meant to thrive. Bread rises with a little warmth. Some of us even have a mother's starter dough to yield endless loaves. Some of us prefer rice. A little steam fattens dry seeds into mini meals. If we have bread, if we have rice, we were meant to survive with bellies that can be full. No, the sun feeds us. We grow more than enough to feed all the children. As long as there is light, we will let it shine. We were always meant to thrive. Love is ever present when we share food. Love is ever present when we see people pet a stranger's dog. Love is ever present when we sit together and listen to each other's stories. Love is ever present when we simply care. Little moments promise that love will not vanish. When love is ever present, we do not need to be afraid because love, like light, welcomes us. Love lets us speak and be seen. We do not need to be silent. As long as there is light, we will let it shine. We were always meant to thrive. As long as there is light, we will let it shine. We were always meant to thrive. As long as there is light, we will let it shine. We were always meant to thrive. Thank you.
That disappeared. How many of you know that San Francisco is in the top 10 places where Native women disappear? How many of you know that San Francisco is in one of the top 10 places that Native women disappear? Yeah, that's one, two. As we continue to talk about the really necessary shift from a colonial perspective, I just really need people to know that. I used to not know that people didn't know that. And I just thought y'all were all ignoring it. But anyway, I lost my daughter about 12 years ago. And I'm not going to read about that. I just wanted to bring it up because it's really important, particularly after that last poem. Thank you so much for that. But I will read one, and then we'll be done. On Thursday, I wear sapphires and lithium. Bridges from Wednesday to morning song. We wake in the hour of grief, wrap ourselves in overthink, and the lost and heroic and the fragments of healing they might be. Pen tracks or unresolved chordings they might be. Promise shards or other dangerous poisons. Might be a house sparrow perching on a fern tree. Might be the moth atlas, another unfamiliar navigation on Thursday. Day to conjure deep luck, to conjure restoration, wrapped in warm, in language of edges, sitting in among the lavender plants, and other sorts of poems. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you to the readers. Thank you, Ingrid, Jennifer, Kelechi, Cassandra, and Jen. Thank you to the audience, without whom there is no point in doing this at all. And thank you to Mike and Kenny, who may be somewhere. And no, Kenny's not somewhere. Anyway, thank you, Kenny. Anyway, because he's usually somewhere. And John and the library and all things that cause poems. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.